Today, my guest is Deborah Ruf, a specialist in high intelligence assessment and guidance for both gifted children and adults. What should you do when your child loses interest and motivation to pursue their passions at the age of 10, 12? So then when they start being teenagers. So a couple of parents have said that this is what they are dealing with, and they really don't know how to react, that their child loses any interest in string theory or whatever else was their passion before.
Dinosaurs. Well, what do you do? Because I saw clients for 20 years and it was families. And I'd say, well, what I would say is, we're supporting this interest of yours. And if you want a break, fine. You can try something else and we'll support that. But if you're not going to practice or you're not really paying attention, we're not going to keep paying for the lessons. So I ultimately say to the child who's preteens and so on is, you can do it when you're a grown-up. You know, we're willing to pay for it now, but if you aren't sure this is really interesting to you, you don't have to do it. And the thing is, they really need to know that. Sometimes parents get too invested in their pride over their child's interest or challenge. And the kid senses that. And they think, you like that I do this. I'm not enjoying it anymore. And let them quit.
Just let them quit.
Yeah.
I think it's for many parents, it's not what they want to hear, but can you talk a little bit more about why this happens? So you said that one motivation might be because the child does something to make the parents happy, not because they want to do it. Are there any other reasons why gifted children might lose their passions and motivations?
Same reason you would. I mean, we all lose interest in something we used to really love. And yeah, I mean, they are also trying to test how much you will listen to them. Are you going to keep forcing an issue, and why? It isn't important that they keep there's a book by Benjamin Bloom. Benjamin Bloom was the editor of a book called Developing Talent in Young People. And even though it's 20 or 30 years old, it's still relevant. And anybody who's asking that question would get a lot out of that book. And I should tell you my personality. I'm an NTP, and I've learned how to get closer to the F, but I'm not an F. And the F is the feeler. You know, it's like, okay, all right, so let's move on.
So for me, the first time I did the Myers-Briggs, it was like, I think it was around 10 years ago. It showed me, and that was an ENTJ. So that was, but when I did it again, I moved towards F in this, it was like thinking, feeling, right? So it's interesting how it also changes, throughout your life.
Change, but doesn't it make sense?
It does.
Think about it. Yes. Yeah. And so the children in the book who are now grown up, I showed how many of them did change. And I didn't test the parents again, but I do know some of the parents said, I've changed since then. I said, yeah, but I want to just put in there what you were like when you were making all those decisions for the children when they were younger. Because that's important. You may have changed. And as I said at the beginning, you might need to apologize to your children. But it is something that changes as people have more freedom to discover who they really are.
Yeah, and to experiment with different life experiences.
Yeah. Right.